What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, Elliot Scott's going to teach you all how to kiss. I'm not going to show anything here because it's probably not allowed on YouTube. Maybe probably is. It's nothing exotic, or maybe it is. When Elliot Scott kisses, it's exotic, okay? And that's why I wanted to make this video. I am just as credible at doing this as I am, unfortunately, as I am as a dating coach. I have always been told that I am a great kisser, if not the best kisser she has ever had. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bragging. I'm not going to kiss any of you, so it doesn't matter. I don't know 99.9999% of you. So I have no gain out of this. I'm just saying I am a great kisser, have always been told, and I'm going to tell you what a lot of guys like and what I do to be told I am a great kisser. So here's the thing. Number one, this is very common sense. We're going to get the most common thing out of the way. You probably have heard this plenty of times. You probably know this, but I do think it's very important that I have to say it, that when it comes to tongue, less is more. You're not tonsil boxing. You're not putting your tongue down their fucking throat and hitting their tonsils and figuring out how fast. You're not. Look how fast that is. You're not doing anything like that. Okay. Tongue should be like less than 10% of the whole makeout. What makes a great makeout is what you can do with your lips and how you switch from up to bottom, how you deliver the tongue when you do it, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so when you're doing something with your tongue, your job is not to have your tongue go deep into their mouth and touch their tongue. Hopefully they're doing something with theirs too. The kiss is always the best when the timing is right and you got, you're not like trying to get your shit all the way deep in hers. That's horrible. That's nasty. I am not a tongue kisser. Maybe 10% of it. Yeah, it just makes it sloppy. There's nothing worse than a sloppy kiss, okay? There's just nothing worse than that. So when you're using tongue, use 10% of it. Don't overstretch. Don't, just because it picks up the pace and the intimacy, that doesn't mean more tongue, okay? Just know how to use it. Number two, I would say, is passion. When you're kissing, a lot of people have a very monotone when it comes to kissing. It's very blah, meaning you're making out but you're not doing other things. Like for me, I pull the woman in, I pull her in by her. I think just the pull itself is very sexy depending on where you're pulling. I always pull by the waist, the clothing around the waist. Pull her in, our bodies are touching, you're looking into her eyes, your hand, depending on the type of kiss, your hands would be here on, on her face, just whatever, or it'd be in the back of her hair, if it's very sexual, intimate kiss, or yeah, just aggressive, like I want you, I know how you girls like your hair fucking pulled. Don't pull that bullshit. I mean, I'm not pulling hair, but my hand is up there grabbing it, and I'm just into it. And then you switch between the top lip and lower lip, and you're moving your hands. You're picking up the pace of the kiss. You're slowing down the pace. It's all about escalation. If you don't escalate while you're kissing, again, it just becomes the monotone of kissing. It just becomes very blah. You have to switch things up. You have to switch levels. Top lip, lower lip. You have to switch your hands. Your hands just can't stay there the whole time. It's all about the details. It's all about the sensory. My hand here, my hand on your breast, my hand around your waist, me pulling you in, my hand in your hair. All that makes a big difference with a passionate kiss. The pressure of how much our bodies are pressing against each other, and things like that. So when you're doing a kiss, make sure to change a lot of the I guess the sensory details, right? The passion has to pick up numerous ways. If you do not, it is a horrible kiss. Number three, I would say, is the spontaneity of it. Sometimes it's really fun to kiss in random places or when you least expect it. I think that is very, very, very sexy. Some people always kiss in the same fucking areas, in the car, they do the peck or in the bedroom. But it's nice when you come up behind a girl when she's cooking or she's doing something and you kiss her on your neck and she turns and you lock lips. That's a very, very, very passionate kiss, a very sexy kiss. And again, you can start going back to the passion, the sensory details. When you're behind her, you can press up against her more. You can move your hands. You can grab her breasts. Now, of course, this guy doesn't have breasts. If he does, then okay, whatever, I don't judge, you know, but I mean, you can rub your hands over his abs, you can rub your hands over his, I guess guys like your hands on the chest. You can rub his arms, feel his muscles, you can, I mean, just that kind of stuff. And guys know that, like when you're rubbing your hand down a guy's body, he knows where he's adequate and where he's not, meaning like if he has a chest and you run your hand over his chest muscle, he knows you're feeling that. If he has abs and you run your hand over his abs, he knows you're feeling that. You know, if you put your hands on his jaw and he has strong jawline, jaw muscles, he knows you're feeling that. And that's very sexy. One thing about making out, which is number 4, is not only, just like with sex, what makes sex better is knowing I'm satisfying the other person. So if you're showing while you're making out that you're really into it by you picking up the pace, or by you can even say something. The way you look in his eyes, the way you move your hands, the way you pick up the intensity, like this makes men know that, oh my God, I'm doing a good job. And just like with sex, it's the organ's the most important organ is the brain, right? So I mean, if you're into it and you're comfortable and you're feeling it and you're in the zone, kissing is an in the zone thing. If you can get in there, you're going to do so much freaking better. And of course, number 5, obviously, it depends on who you're kissing. I mean, you can be a very good kisser with somebody who you just met. Like say you and I go on a date and we're kissing at the end of the date. Yes. But it's always better with somebody, and you know this, it's always better with someone that you really, really, really like. You know, they always say, now I don't believe this, but I understand what they're saying. They're saying there's no such thing as a bad kisser when you really like the person. Like if you really like the bad person, they can't be a bad kisser. That's bullshit, but I understand what they're saying. It's just so passionate, so loving. It's all these other 4 things I've said prior. It's just better because you're doing it with that person. So if you can get to that level with somebody, so what I'm trying to say here is, if you're in the beginning, focus on the first 4, or in the beginning of the relationship, focus on the first 4 things I've said. But then when you start dating for months, and again, I'll say months, then, and you have a rhythm down together and you really like each other and there's depth in the relationship, then the kissing just becomes so much better. So get there, okay? Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I will love you forever. Did I even say that in the beginning of the video? Who cares? Red button, bell notification. I love you, ladies. Take care and peace.